Salau disappeared on Saturday, June 6, 2020, shortly after tweeting about being sexually assaulted. Salau was found murdered in Tallahassee, Florida, on Saturday, June 13, 2020, and her death was confirmed on Monday, June 15, 2020. Salau was an active participant in the 2020 Black Lives Matter protests in Tallahassee, Florida. Described as an emerging leader and prominent voice in the movement, she had advocated on behalf of Tony McDade in particular. "Anyways, I was molested in Tallahassee, Florida by a black man this morning at 5:30 on Richview and Park Avenue. The man offered to give me a ride to find someplace to sleep and recollect my belongings from a church I refuged to a couple days back to escape in just living conditions." Shortly before her disappearance, on June 6, 2020, she tweeted that she was sexually assaulted by a black man after he offered to give her a ride back to a church where she sought refuge because of unused living conditions. She was last seen alive on June 10, 2020, after a search by community residents, the Tallahassee Community Action Committee, and Tallahassee Police Department. Her body was found on June 14, 2020 around 9:15 p.m. local time near Monday Road in southeastern Tallahassee. Salau's body was discovered with that of Victoria Sims, a 75-year-old who had been active in local politics. Sims' home was found vandalized. Salau was buried at Oakland Cemetery in Tallahassee. The suspect in Salau and Sims's deaths, Aaron Glee Jr., was arrested in Orlando, Florida during the early hours of June 14 and charged with murder and kidnapping. Glee later confessed to the murder and rape of Salau. The bodies of Salau and Sims were found near his rental home in Tallahassee the night before. He had been arrested previously, less than a month prior, for aggravated battery after a police officer saw him kicking a woman in the stomach when she refused his sexual advances. In January 2023, Glee rejected a proposed plea deal by the prosecution for a sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole instead of the death penalty as they had originally sought. He later pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and kidnapping. On September 22, 2023, Glee was sentenced to life in prison. Rip Toyin and Toyin trended on Twitter alongside the hashtag Justice for Toyin after the news went out that Salau's body had been found. Abike Dabiri, chairman of the Nigerians and Diaspora Commission, called on the U.S. government to ensure a thorough investigation of Salau's murder.